Well, you probably won't see a child tax credit payment this month. However, you're still most likely expected to receive something from the IRS, and that's a tax letter based on how much you received in 2021 from the advanced child tax credit of this year. So if you want to know what you should do with this letter and what to expect from this year's tax season, I suggest that you continue watching this video. What's up, thinkers? Chris Robinson here, reminding you guys to smash the like button to support the channel, and if you're new here, you might as well subscribe so that you can stay financially informed, because on this channel we like to cover everything from personal finance, business, as well as credit. However, in today's video, we will cover information related to the child tax credit. So be sure to watch through the full videos as well as take notes. Enough talking, let's jump into the video. Okay, so this tax letter you will receive is called Letter 6419, and you must use the information from this letter to prepare your Section 8812, aka 1040 tax form. And according to irs.gov, this letter includes the total amount of advanced child tax credit payments taxpayers received in 2021 and the number of qualified children used to calculate the advanced payments. People should keep this and any other IRS letters about advanced child tax credit payments with their tax records. However, in the case of families who did not receive these payments, the IRS continues by stating, eligible families who did not receive any advanced child tax credit payments can claim the full amount of child tax credit on their 2021 federal tax return. This includes families who don't normally need to file a tax return. So to get a better understanding of this, families who did receive payments from July to December of 2021, they're required to use this letter to prepare their tax forms in order to be eligible for the remaining child tax credit, which can be up to $3,600 per child under the age of 6 or up to $3,000 per child over the age of 6. The IRS also states that failing to use this letter to prepare your tax return for this tax season could result into error flags as well as delays in your tax return process. So one thing you'll probably notice when receiving this letter is the total amount of payments you received in box 1 and the total amount of dependents used to calculate these payments in box 2. And everyone received different monthly payments based on different circumstances. However, according to IRS, the amount you have received from the monthly payments was generated from your most recent tax return, the 2020-2021 non-filers tool, or the Child Tax Credit Update Portal and phone line. Now, one question you'll probably be wondering if you have to repay some or all of the payments you received from the advanced child tax credit payments if the dependence from this letter is less than the dependence that you will claim on your 2021 tax return. And the best way for me to answer this question, if you had an increase to your income during 2021. And what I mean by this is that the IRS refer to this as your modified adjusted gross income, or MAGI. According to the IRS, you will not have to repay any advanced child tax credit payment for non-qualifying children if your 2021 MAGI is under $60,000 if you're married and filing a joint return, or if filing as a qualified widow or widower, $50,000 if you are filing as head of household, and $40,000 if you are a single filer or are married and filing a separate return. Also, another important thing to mention is that the IRS also stated that they will be sending out another letter related to the third stimulus check. And this letter is called Letter 6475. This letter will help economic impact payment recipients determine if they are entitled to and should claim the recovery rebate credit on their 2021 tax return when they file in 2022. And to give you some more information related to this letter, according to the IRS, Letter 6475 only applies to the third round of economic impact payments, which were issued in March through December of 2021. The third round of economic impact payments include plus-up payments, where advance payments of the 2021 recovery rebate credit that would be claimed on a 2021 tax return. And they also continue by saying plus-up payments were additional payments the IRS sent to people who received a third economic impact payment based on a 2019 tax return or information received from the Social Security Administration, Railroad Retirement Board, or Veterans Affairs. Plus-up payments were also sent to people who were eligible for a larger amount based on their 2020 tax return. Okay, so now let's cover some questions you may be thinking or worried about for this year's tax season. And the first question is, what changes were made to the child tax credit for 2021? So there are many changes to the 2021 tax return. However, it's important to know that these changes are only temporary. So the first change is that the law allows 17-year-olds to be claimed on your tax return, whereas the year before it was only 16 and under. Also, there is a significant increase to the amount that you could claim for the child tax credit. And this increase went from a maximum of $2,000 per child to a maximum of $3,000 per child or $3,600 per child under the age of 6. In addition to this, it removed the $2,500 earning floor, which will allow you to fully claim the credit as a refund. And lastly, it required the child tax credits to be paid in advance, which was the payments we've seen from July to December of 2021. However, as a side note, although there are many changes, the eligibility rule for claiming the child tax credit on your taxes this year still apply, which means that the child still must be a U.S. citizen, national, or resident alien and have a social security number. You also must claim the child as a dependent on your 2021 tax return, and the child must be related to you and generally live with you for at least 6 months during the year. And you still have to put the child's name, date of birth, and social security number on the tax return. And the next question is, can all families claim the higher per child tax credit of $3,000 or $3,600 on this year's tax return? And the answer is not all families can claim this higher per child tax credit. Only the families who modify adjusted gross income meets the requirements. And according to the IRS, the first phase out begins when the family's MAGI exceeds $150,000 if married and filing a joint return, or if filing as a qualifying widow or widower, $112,500 if filing as head of household, or $75,000 if you are a single filer or are married and filing a separate return. And they continue by stating that the first phase out reduced the child tax credit by $50 for each $1,000 or fraction thereof, by which your modified AGI exceeds the income threshold described above that is applicable to you. And here is an example provided to us by the Kaplinger website. If a married couple has one child who is 4 years old filing a joint return and has a modified AGI of $160,000 for 2021, they don't get the full $3,600 enhanced credit. Instead, since their modified AGI is $10,000 above the phase-out threshold for joint filers, which is $150,000, their credit is reduced by $500, resulting in a final 2021 credit of $3,100. And it's also important to keep in mind that many families who may not be eligible for the higher child tax credit may still be eligible for the $2,000 per child on their 2021 tax return. What if my modified adjusted gross income is higher than the first phase out? Could I still claim a child tax credit? Well, that pretty much depends, because according to the IRS, the child tax credit won't begin to reduce below $2,000 per child until the modified AGI in 2021 exceeds $400,000 if married and filing a joint return, or $200,000 for all other filing statuses. And they continue by providing the same calculations on how it's reduced from the first phase out. And another example that we have available for this is that if a married couple with a 7-year-old son who filed a joint return and have a modified AGI of $415,000 for 2021 won't get a full $3,000 enhanced credit. First, this is because they're high income. They won't qualify for the extra $1,000, so their credit is reduced by the regular amount of $2,000. And in addition to that, since their modified AGI is $15,000 above the second phase-out threshold for joint filers, which is $400,000, their credit is reduced again by $750, resulting in a final 2021 credit of $1,250. So the next question we got is, what does it mean that the child tax credit is fully refundable for 2021? This means that the child tax credit is fully refundable for families who lived in the United States for more than half half the year. However, before this change, certain low-income families was only eligible up to $1,400 per child instead of $2,000 per child if their child tax credit exceeded the taxes that they otherwise owed. So under the rules for 2021, people who qualify for a child tax credit can receive the credit as a full refund even if they have no tax liabilities. So this means that parents who are unemployed or did not work during 2021 can still claim the child tax credit. So what if I had a newborn in 2021? How will my eligibility for child credit be on my 2021 tax return? So you will still be eligible. However, since the IRS did not know about this newborn, you probably did not receive those advance payments during July to December of 2021, which means you can claim the full amount of $3,600 for your child tax credit on your 2021 tax return. In addition to this, if you had children that you took care of for more than half the year but did not see those advance payments between July and December of 2021, that means you are eligible to claim the full amount for your 2021 tax return. Alright guys, so I'll pause on the Q&A for now. However, if there was a question that you still have that I did not cover, don't hesitate to comment your questions in the comments box below and I'll do my best to get the answers that you need. Also, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to smash the like button to show your support, and also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.